Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, afternoon, morning, however you're listening. It's been a minute, but if you listened to our last episode, which I'm not going to spoil.
Has it been a minute, Brian?
It's been like, 2 weeks worth of minutes.
Okay.
It's been 2 weeks worth of minutes, but for good reason, Ryan, because the last episode, I'm still reeling. The reactions have been pouring in.
I know.
I
had some pretty good predictions, I will say. Like, you know what? Like, with my predictions, the strength of mine and the weakness of yours, I would be as shocked as well. Oh, wait, you're talking about my last prediction. Okay.
Your last prediction, which
okay.
we're not going to spoil because there are people who will listen to this one before
We'll
that
listen to
one.
this one first.
I will tell you that by the next episode or the one after, I'm going to rename that episode.
Yes.
So that we know what it is. But the reveal, guys, if you haven't done it, stop right now, rewind, and listen to the last episode. Predictions are a ton of fun, and I'm going to win for the first time in 5 years.
Some people say it may be one of the best episodes we've ever released. So
it probably is the best episode we've ever released. All thanks to, is he over there? This guy, that guy? It doesn't matter because, Ryan, we have our first atmospheric Chair Creek Halloween announcement. Season is started because tickets are on sale and a whole lot of other stuff. We got merch. What are you thinking?
Well, so this is the thing, Brian. Just like I suspected, we're going to do a predictions episode, and then all of a sudden, all the news drops while we're still editing it, getting things worked out with there. That's why I threw out that introduction in there, just to kind of give people a little bit of a notice, just like, hey, like we are aware, we're not that dumb.
We're not that dumb. We're dumb, but not that dumb.
We quickly wanted to get in here and announce a couple other things, and we're not announce anything. I did that plenty last episode, but
are you announcing more? I can't. My heart can't handle it.
But we have the dates and the tickets, and a lot of different tickets, but no house or scare zone announcement. Which, Brian, remind me if I'm wrong. This is the first time they've done a reveal without a house, and
it definitely feels like in a long time. I don't have that data in front of me. The people who always fact check this can let us know, but without checking, I would put this before the pandemic.
I mean, at least I would argue maybe like in like 26, 25. No, 25 was announced with Jack.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be talking pre-25.
So this is almost 10 years of breaking tradition. Why? Does Epic Universe have something to do with it? Did something fall through? You know, we play this game. It's been quiet speculation. Ryan, what's your initial theory on that?
So I know that you and I texted a little bit about this. My theory for this is that they're focused on Epic Universe right now. You and I were messaging back and forth about this, and my honest theory is that they need to go ahead and finish their marketing campaign. They've released 2 videos advertising Epic Universe. And the coasters, what the themed lands are going to look like, the restaurants, they're not going to they need to finish that campaign before they turn gears and start focusing on something else. Now watch, tomorrow there's going to be a house announcement. I'm going to be completely wrong, but before they announced the dates, this was my thought. And they announced, but I was like, but the one thing that could counter that is they need to start selling Horror Nights tickets.
Right.
But okay, now Horror Nights tickets are live. We've always said that they don't need to announce anything for people to buy tickets. The event's busy enough. Do they need to get new people in? Not really.
Right.
So at this point, they've done that. They have, people have the time. They really don't need to announce anything until summer, which should give them enough time they've got 3 more lands that they need to announce, including a Dark Universe one, which will kind of scratch that itch a little bit.
Yeah. And again, depending on, some of the rumors, are we going to see something that lines up with that?
And I wouldn't be surprised if next week, as early as next week, we get another announcement.
Yeah.
For Epic Universe.
It's definitely very possible, but it is weird. It is so weird. And I have more to say. I have more to speak on that. As I said, I have a personal experience that can relate to that here in a little bit. But it is there's a lot and there's a lot of nothing. The speculation season's weird, but we also got another spec map, Brian.
We did.
Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. I was at WrestleMania last weekend or this past
you
weekend.
were?
I know.
How'd you not lead off with that?
I'm working on becoming a more vocal wrestling fan.
Okay.
It's, I have enough hobbies that I have to defend.
Well,
but
apparently it pairs a lot with the Horror Nights community because everyone in the
it
Horror Nights
does.
community was posting about it. So
they were, and maybe we'll get another Undertaker Kane
I was gonna say, what about
house.
that Undertaker reveal?
We don't talk. It's like Bruno. We're not going to talk about it, Ryan. But this is for those. I don't know if we're ever going to address this. We will put videos up. I know we kicked off the season that we're going to do videos. But for those playing along on the video, celebration lights, because Ryan, I booked my Rest in Peace tour.
You booked it. Okay.
I booked it. We got it. And I'm going to show something to the camera right now. That's if you're watching the video and you see me on my phone, it's because I have something very specific to show you. And Ryan, I want your thoughts on this because there were a few leading things that caused to this, but I don't know if this is going to show up. Let's see. Can it? No, it's going to be blurry.
Today.
Yeah. All right. I'll screenshot it, but this is an outgoing call to Universal Orlando for 1 hour and 48 minutes. I was on hold for 1 hour and 40 minutes. 8 minutes of that call was booking my Rest in Peace tour. Now, it's the same line as the Unmasking tour.
Okay.
So, that's a thing that they promoted. But, and I could be super wrong on this. I don't know. I don't look. It felt like the Rest in Peace tour public tour was pushed a little more publicly this year.
It definitely was.
Okay. So I blame that for
usually it's kind of like an under like one of the things where it's like, oh yeah, we released these two, but this one it was like really pushed.
It was pushed, yeah. And there's so many thoughts. We're gonna go on a lot of different tangents here. But the first thing is, last year I walked around the park. I did not do private Rest in Peace tour last year. I didn't even do a Rest in Peace tour. I didn't even do a real Fast Pass. We did after 11 p.m. Fast Pass. And we saw more tours in one night going around the park than I think I've seen in the last 2 years combined before last year. So that they're pushing them even more is crazy to me. It makes me a little nervous. I will tell you right out of the gate now, if anybody would be willing to share this information, because I didn't ask because I was in such a panic because, as you know, life works, on hold, hour 48, got it on speaker, totally available for hour and a half.
Yeah.
I set my phone down in the car because we have to go somewhere, and I run inside. That's when they picked up.
Of course.
So my wife had to, we had to vamp and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask what the price would be in September on a Wednesday, but I'll tell you this, Ryan, this is the most expensive, as I called, private Rest in Peace tour that we've paid for this early.
Okay.
I believe, I'd have to look at dates, but I'm pretty sure the last time we went was around the same time and it was cheaper.
Okay.
Not by much, but the fact that it's a Wednesday or Thursday and the prices were the same shows me that the price, they kind of do the, prices change depending on availability and the popularity of the event. It wasn't over the max price that I thought it would be, but I was shocked that I called day one, which I've never done for the private Rest in Peace store. Usually I've lost arguably $1,800 on waiting to book a Rest in Peace tour before. And this time, not even close. And so I didn't want to risk it. We booked it right then and there because I ran the numbers and I saw how much I spent last year doing 2 nights waiting in the sun. And, we've covered that and we can cover it again. But yeah, I'm not going to let any of that bother me because we're booked, baby.
Well, awesome. Did you get the date that you wanted?
I did.
Okay.
And they said, is there any tour guide you want? And I said, yes, but he's no longer with the company, unfortunately.
Oh, did he leave?
He did. He's over at Disney doing private tours there.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So no one could fault him. She goes, well, do you have any requests? And I said, yes. I said, when we did 2 Rest in Peace tours and we did more houses in one night than he had ever done with any other group before. So I told her, we need someone who knows like that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
This isn't, and some people go and only do some of the houses. We even heard of a story where someone did no houses. They just went around and drank at the event, which fine. You do you. It's a lot of money. Not for some people. So I'm excited. I'm still a little bummed. I was hoping for a 2-for-1 deal so I could go the first night, walk around, enjoy the environment. But me and some friends were talking. I want to throw this to you, Ryan. Is it even worth getting a ticket to just walk around and enjoy the atmosphere anymore with how crazy packed it's been?
I would argue that it still is, as long as you have those expectations. You can't really relax and chill, but you're still there. You still get to, and I know you even if you bought like no express pass, you would still get there early. You would still stay there until close. You would still be able to squeeze in some houses.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
The tickets are like $85.
Don't say like 85. They went up.
They did go up, but what's an extra $85 when you're getting a private RIP tour?
This is tricky territory. I would like to say I have 10 people on the recipe store. We divide it out, and it's very specifically budgeted.
Yeah.
But yes, I get what is an extra 85 because when I added up my 2 nights from last time, 2 nights with an after 11 p.m. fast pass with 2 early entry stay-in screams was about $60 less than 1 night of private recipe store.
Yeah.
But private recipe store comes with food.
Yes.
And photos, and valet. So you can argue that the value's
but
there.
But my question, Brian, is this: How much would you pay right now? Blood Moon. You could walk on right now. How much would you pay?
I'd pay $100.
So $85 for the chance to do 1 extra house.
That was before I went to WrestleMania and we decided to go to night 2 spontaneously. I'm on a tight budget right now, mister. All right. So Ryan, on top of the private recipe store, so let me here's what I was going to talk about later. We're going to hit it right now. It was weird booking with no house because they didn't have much to talk about to sell you on it.
Yes.
Right? Now, they got pretty lucky that I wasn't just inquiring and that I was purchasing. But she did do a soft sell of like, well, there aren't any houses announced yet, but we should be getting one soon. And so it felt like there was some I think they expected to have a house announcement to go with this.
Yes.
It's bizarre that they didn't. The more you say it, the more I realize how crazy it is.
Conspiracy theory time. Do we have any time limit on this episode? We're already
nope.
We're like 12 into this. Whatever. We barely covered the map.
I don't care.
All right. So my theory is this: not that it tanked or did poorly, but Ghostbusters did underperform.
It did.
So if I was a betting person, I would say that they probably had Ghostbusters ready to go and expected a little bit more bombasticness around it. And with honestly, some websites were giving it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Is that really how you want to advertise your event? Start the first one out the gate going. You want to be like, all right, we got this awesome. Okay, it's got 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, maybe we want to hold back on this one. Not to say it's bad. I've heard a lot of fans love it. I haven't seen it myself, but how do you say about the property itself? But I could see a situation in which they expected it to do better, and they pulled the announcement just to kind of give it a little bit of time to cool down a little bit.
I think that's possible.
Cool down a little bit. Frozen Empire.
I can't. Because I'm already... Guys, I miss Ryan's jokes so often, it's embarrassing.
I know, I had to point that one out.
Thank you.
It's a dad
joke. I appreciated it. It was a dad joke. And I should have caught it because I am a father, which is why we were late starting this episode, because both kids were up late, running around with the Sleep No More mask on, which got extended to May 27th.
Yep.
I'm going. No, not yet. I don't have the money. But if they extend it into summer, it's happening. And you're going, Ryan. I will make you go. I will buy your ticket. Stipulation. All right, this got escalated really quickly. Anyway, what about, so there's rumors, there's rumblings, it was never going to be Frozen Empire, and it might be a part of the house, or it might be Scare Zone. Do you think that's got merit, or it just felt like they were going to lead with this?
I'm still hoping for a 1 and 2 mashup.
So then shouldn't that be in Fast and Furious?
But the brand is still associated with, I mean, it's Ghostbusters. You're going to want to do it.
Right.
Plus, that location is very close to the original attraction area.
Right. Are we? It's true. And are we too deep? Are we overanalyzing this? It's Ghostbusters. People don't care. They just want to see Ghostbusters.
I mean, Ghostbusters isn't as popular as it used to be. Our generation, and the generation prior to us, are huge into Ghostbusters. Maybe a little bit after us. That's nothing to say about I absolutely love Ghostbusters, but
that's true.
I do not know if the kids of nowadays are super into it.
The Zoomers? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean that. Please don't unsubscribe. No, that's a good point. And and then between that and the other Blumhouse movies not doing great,
Yeah.
This goes back to beating the dead horse, into the ground of it's a risk when you go all in on an IP.
Yeah.
That's not Stranger Things or Last of Us or Haunting of Hill House. Something, it almost makes you wonder that. Here's my question: if Elm Street is coming, why not lead with that?
I would, but you also have to think about assets. Have they filmed those assets? That's going to be a both coasts house, and so you need to like coordinate that. Just because one area is ready for it doesn't mean the other one is. Maybe they haven't shot it yet.
And to play devil's advocate, no general public, 80% of people aren't going to remember what was announced when, and when
Most
they see the
people
title of
don't
the
care.
book, they don't.
And honestly, I like to go back to my previous point. Epic Universe is taking all the Universal news right now.
Right.
Like with How to Train Your Dragon and that whole land,
Let's go!
And the rides there, it looks great.
Yep.
The hotels, like booking and already having lots of footage and photos of those, like.
Yeah. That's true. So, let's move on to probably. I wish I had premeditated a hot topic joke here. The hot topic of the night, which is the apparel. You'd find this shirt in Hot Topic.
You probably could.
If it, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be, now we've been given more time, so it's not as intense, but this might be the most divisive topic in Ryan and Brian's podcast history, because one of us loves it and one of us doesn't like it, and now they're okay with it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still the most passive way of disliking something. Ryan, the merch drops, you go to it.
So
what's your reaction?
Let me go through this day. So like there's going to be an announcement. We know it's coming. And then I wake up in the morning. I've been working out at 5:00 in the morning a couple days during the week. And then I go to work at 7. And I look and I'm like, okay, tickets are already live. It's going to happen today.
You're taking HHN training way too far. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Not possible. So I go and we're paying, like, I'm like paying attention, just refreshing Twitter over and over again. I'm like, all right, so tickets are out. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, so we know dates, we know tickets. I'm like, where's this announcement? And then there's no announcement. And there's a loose announcement of just the dates. And then the video, which we'll talk about. And then suddenly it's like, oh, wait, they've cleared off the 5 and dime. So I'm like, ooh, so we know what merch is coming. That merch is coming. Okay, stand by. And then the shirt comes out. And I'm like, really? That's what
Now, was it just the shirt?
It was just the shirt.
Okay.
That came out. And I will say that I thought it might be one of the worst designs I've seen.
I am so glad I didn't just spit my digestive tea all over my equipment.
And I'll say this. I'll say for Horror Nights. So this shirt does not, and I'll say to this day, like I said that I don't hate it as much as I did. When I first saw it, I legitimately was like, this is awful. I don't know what they were thinking.
Okay.
And I still think the orange is horrendous.
All right.
But to me, when I see that shirt, it doesn't say Horror Nights to me. It doesn't say scary. It doesn't say horror. That shirt, if it's a beacon of any sign of HHN going PG, it's this shirt. This is the lead of it saying, okay, here I am. Like, I'm becoming more family friendly. The black, the design on the black's better. But, and I will say this, and we can go back and forth with this. I have some deeper thoughts on this. It was when people started coming out with the theories that it might lead to a punk HHN that it became a little bit more acceptable to me.
Okay.
And I'll say this. I'll stand on this. If it does mean that there is a punk representation and that's the theme that they're going for, it's not a bad design. Okay. If this is just the design with no meaning behind it, it is bad.
That's a lot, and you actually almost got heated there. I was trying to egg you on and let you go because I was like, this is the most angry Ryan gets. I don't know if you guys know
you should have gotten me that same day. I would have probably gone over it. I was like, this is not like what I was so excited because I saw that and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna save so much money this year on merch. Like you not even remotely close to getting any of this. Like,
yeah, I can't. So that's all.
But then I text you.
Yeah, you text me and I love it. I'm reeling and I'm fanboying out over it. With
what do you
Rob
think of the orange?
I love it. I am probably gonna buy it. And here's the only thing originally I didn't like about it, which is weird. I didn't like the arch on it.
Okay.
I loved everything else. The arch was my biggest problem, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fine. It's 90s. And there was rumor of 90s merch, and we're like, how do you do 90s horror merch and make it look good? And it turns out
I guess they didn't figure it out.
They didn't figure it out if you're Ryan. But I'm going to hit you with 2 factoids to humble you.
Go for it.
Now, I'm just kidding. The first one is we praised the white shirt last year, Ryan, and all of us praised a non-black shirt. Everybody wanted something that wasn't black. What color did they go with? Oh, I don't know. Let me look around my room. What's the color of Halloween, Ryan?
Purple.
Is it orange? It's not purple. It's orange. The pumpkin's orange. Don't you do this to me?
Yes, a pumpkin is orange.
Sorry,
that
I'm
is
still
the fact,
messing.
Brian.
I'm in like kind of promo mode right now. But yeah, so I am fine with the orange. I've had a shirt that looked exactly like that I'm pretty sure I bought from City Walk at like Billabong or Quicksilver that was 90s themed.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's what it looks like. It's great. Now, to your point, what's the motivation? We don't know.
Yeah.
But also, let me offer you this second piece of information. Everybody freaked out last year about the what shirt that released almost to the year same week. See You in the Fog.
Oh, that bad shirt.
And it
that
was
not a good shirt.
it was not the event shirt.
No.
It was just a tease. This shirt is a fun fan shirt that will be sold at the event. It is not
it will
the
be
main
because they're not
merch.
going to sell out of it because it's not good.
They're not going to sell out of it. They'll sell out of the hat, the mug,
That's
everything
what
else.
I will stand on. I will say that I was wrong if they still have stock. All the popular shirts sell out quickly. So.
It will. It's a great shirt, and everybody's excited to have an orange, a non-black Halloween shirt.
I honestly don't care about the fact that that there's just an orange shirt. It's that I don't like that design on orange because it doesn't scream horror to me.
But it screams Halloween.
No, just
yeah.
It looks
Nope.
like a
It
shirt
does.
a
It's
skater
colored
would
by
wear
hat.
in the
It's
90s.
orange. Yeah, that's super dope too. Why does black all Halloween?
I booted
White
up
isn't
Tony Hawk Pro
Halloween.
Skater earlier,
White-
and Tony was
white-
wearing that shirt while I was skating
White,
warehouse.
I was playing earlier. You didn't invite me. White doesn't scream Horror Nights either, but we fangirled over the Last of Us shirt.
I mean, it was a cool design.
No, now we're getting all pissed. So is it the design you don't like or the cut? Okay,
I mean,
so
it's the
put that
design
same
too.
design-
I'm not crazy about the
Okay.
design. Even on the black, I don't like it.
All right,
But the
What's
black
your-
makes it a
what's
little
your-
bit. It looks a little bit more horror.
What's your wife think?
She didn't like it either.
Well, she's wrong. No, it is I will not be mad because they took a risk, and here's why. They've done the same shirts for however long, and let's talk about the blood red Sane shirts, right? There were years they have a black shirt with red ink, a very good Horror Nights design, right? And some years people loved it because of the words. Some years people absolutely hated it because of the words. So it's you have to take these risks. I'm happy to see an orange shirt. My big concern is the same as yours. Take away this part of it. I love it. I'm going to buy it. I need colorful horror shirts. I'm tired of black. I'm tired of the same old designs. I didn't buy the See You in the Fog shirt for the same reason. Black and blue, great color combination. See You in the Fog, which the lady said to me on the phone, and I fangirled out then too. She was like, "And we'll see you in the fog." I was like, "Oh, she said the thing." But what's the motivation?
Yeah,
Because there's nothing on the spec map that screams 90s.
no, and that's kind of why I'm like.
So let's transition. Let's segue.
Okay.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yes.
I think for the first time in the history of this show.
I think when I texted it to you, I was like, he's gonna love it. He's like, for some reason, this just screams Brian. He's gonna love
it
it.
does. I wore that shirt. I was a skater boy. I said, "See you later."
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Or what are we doing?
We're transitioning to the video tease. Technically,
yes,
you can call it that. And remember, we got crazy teases early last year that did end up meaning something to Dr. Oddfellow and the Dark Zodiac and all of that.
So what's a sphere cannot be contained mean?
It means they don't know what they're doing and they're trying to find a theme.
Do you think that Fear's coming back? I don't.
No, I don't think so. I on a non-anniversary year, it doesn't make any sense.
No, and I'm with you. I don't really think there's going to be an icon this year. I mean, I hope you're wrong, so that way I get the point. But
yeah, I saw a video arguing the counterpoint, and I love that. I love that some people think there might, some people might think there isn't. Who knows?
I also think sometimes people look too much into things.
Well, that is this is not a personal shot at anybody. We all love the event. We're all passionate. But some people watched, hours of static.
Oh, yeah.
And read into a lot. And because we're all desperate, we want something. So, yeah. So I mean, when you look at the spec maps, which at this point between two of them, and while We don't really get into the politics here. I don't really follow any of it. I know some people don't like some people. I don't care. I care about the event. I'm looking at the information given to me. I don't see an overarching theme unless some of these are throwbacks.
Yeah.
Could it be you made a great point. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the house that gets me not me a point, but you lose you a point that.
Well, lose me a point. I said Dracula would be there, but it wouldn't be Universal Monsters.
Yeah, I guess I don't remember. Is it the 90s Dracula?
I mean, it could very well be the 90s
Dracula. Wait. It says Universal Monsters Dracula.
Well, that one says Universal Monsters. I'm saying that it might be if it's not Universal Monsters Dracula.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I did bait you for that. So if it's the 90s Dracula, what else on here kind of lends itself to that? Because you know what I think of? The sequel house. We talked about.
When did Ghostbusters 2 come out?
That's a great question. You fact check that while I try to remember the name of my stupid house that I can never remember with the Yeti. Everyone's gonna get Slaughter Cinema. Slaughter Cinema.
Oh, please, Slaughter Cinema 2.
But what if they went 90s theme? Did a different generation.
I would love it.
Yeah. So there's
89 June
89.
That's close enough.
We'll count it.
So that's kind of 90s. We could have.
Yeah,
a Dracula that's 90s.
There's nothing else that
Disney's
really...
Hercules came out in the 90s.
That's a great film.
It is a great film.
Bless my soul, Hercules. I can't do that because I don't have a voice. Okay, so Ryan, as we transition to the main theme, and we got a teaser video that feels generic and feels like it's going nowhere. Same could be said last year for the Zodiac thing. A lot of people didn't think that was going anywhere, but it did.
It did.
So. What do you think overall? We've addressed the theme. What do you think overall of some of the houses we're seeing?
I mean, to me, I will say this: there are no standouts to me this year. There's nothing that I see that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm crazy about this.
Okay.
I just realized that Freddy's not on this spec.
He's
map.
not. No, that's why I gave you a look. But I
just realized that.
Yeah. So
I don't like
Freddy, that. There's also the other.
That was like the one house I was excited for.
The other show is not.
Yeah, but you know what? Who knows?
You know what it is?
What is? Gremlins.
No.
Gremlins came out in the 80s.
80s. Did the sequel come out in the 90s?
Oh my gosh. The only thing I want more than a Gremlins house is a Gremlins 2 house.
That Gremlins 2 house would be phenomenal. I think it goes. It's not Blumhouse. Gremlins house goes in Fast and Furious Part 1, Part 2. Tribute to Terror here.
Gremlins 2, 1990.
Oh, we got 3 90s houses. Okay, 2 3/4. Ryan, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Tribute to Terror.
Yeah, what is that?
It's the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what's in the ocean?
The Kraken.
Jaws.
If they do it on 49, that's a mistake. I will say this. Did you see the Jaws tease in the tribute store?
I did. And I'm just...
Do you know? I'm sorry.
I'm not saying...
I don't want to... I don't want to say I'm going to miss the big event in October if Jaws is the house.
It's not a house. I think it will be in that house. I think it will be referenced.
See, okay. Featured. Oh my gosh. Now you got me on Jaws. Because I saw it in the tribute store. Because you saw this video, right?
Saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... If for people that don't know, every year in the tribute store, that's where you can find the legitimate hints that Horror Nights like for the next thing. They always put something in. And at the end of this Mardi Gras house, or I don't know if it was the end or not, but they put an LED in the floor where Jaws swims by and they play the Jaws theme. So Jaws is coming in some form.
Why would that be? Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like,
also you know that there has to be a tribute store next year.
There has to be a tribute store next year, but also Tribute to Terror of the Sea. I feel like we could get a multi-part house where it's not just one shark, but there's segments.
Deep Blue Sea house,
scenes. Deep Blue Sea,
Lake Placid.
Cthulhu,
Lake Placid came out in the 90s.
Anaconda. We're getting more. We're getting more 90s.
Okay, so we have a Jaws, Lake Placid, and Anaconda. Suddenly, that is my most hype house of all time.
I'm just saying, okay? Greek gods also sounds super intriguing.
All right, but the one that impresses me the most, Brian, has got to be this new Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imaginary didn't do great. Insidious has a new movie,
which was
and
awful.
Mithrigan, which was awful.
And then Mithrigan, which, I mean,
I would be shocked if they went all in on this.
Yeah, I mean, of course, in my prediction, I said that there wouldn't be Blumhouse this year, so I don't believe it's coming at all.
Well, you don't want to, because I'm going to win, and if you guys listen to our last episode, if I win, it'll be just the most, like, unfair, like, guilty win of my life. He's stolen it from me. In the same way that Cody finished his story, I'm going to finish my story in the only way that's accurate for me and Ryan. But yeah. All right, so we've talked through the map a little bit. Is there anything else you would say that? Because I want to go back to some of the ticket stuff.
I mean, I think that's pretty much that, because the thing is this. Is
we don't know.
We want to cover a little bit of the rumors here and there, but but it changes so much.
Yeah, like that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about tickets.
But dates. We have dates.
Recipe store. We have dates, and you technically, I think, get a point for that because you said August.
I did say August would be coming. I don't know where in my points it was, so I mean, I'll take a point, but August 30th to November 3rd, which, I mean,
I'm wrong because I thought they'd go to the next weekend in November. They didn't.
But I will say there is one thing I do lose on. They did officially announce that every night is going to be 6:30 to 2.
Oh, so the time.
I was gonna say the times does not have stayed the same, unless something changes. They might.
Unless something changes.
But as of right now, that's the official. Start and end time. But yeah, August 30th. So the earliest it's starting. But I will say that's not that big of a surprise this year. It just kind of lands a little bit weird. Yeah. So it's not like they're doing anything out of the ordinary.
It's normal.
It was either this or like Labor Day.
Right. That's not. I think it's exciting to see it go into August. We've talked about it. We've seen them dip their toes with employee preview. And with Halloween ending on the week that goes into the first weekend of November, there was no way as much as I wanted to, I didn't think we were going to go to the next weekend in November.
Yeah.
So yeah, the dates got announced, super awesome. Prices got announced. Ticket prices went up, no shocker there. The world inflates while salaries don't. And Express Pass starting pretty high. And I checked it out on the Saturday, the second to last Saturday. I believe they're up to over 200 again.
Yeah, there's a lot of 200 nights for Express this year.
Even did you see opening weekend is inflated like crazy?
Oh yeah, well, opening weekend now is like one of the biggest weekends because everyone runs and everybody knows. That you need to go, and you don't go that Friday without Express. No. Even with Express, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
Only RIP tour people are going to be going through. That's going to be... They're the only ones seeing the houses on Friday night. It's going to only... Soon enough, Friday will just be RIP tour only.
So how do you feel... That's good. How do you feel about the multi-night tickets now that we've seen what the other tickets are like?
Okay, so...
How do you feel about your prediction?
I'm fully confident in it. I'm fully confident in it at this point. Because the prices went up. I mean, for RIP, for they're going to go up. I mean, I can't fault them. I know it's going to go up every year, but it's going to be pretty. I'm bracing myself. I know that the multi-night tickets aren't going to come until either late June or early July. Yeah. So I have a while to save up, donate plasma.
Yeah, I just saw
plus extra probably because right now my plasma place is only offering $650, so I probably will have to pay more than that for my.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Especially if Jaws is coming. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to plant that. I just looked up the top 90s horror movies, and now I just wish we did a redo of Ripped from the Silver Scream, which was my first event. Mm-hmm. Which let's go back to that for a thing. I've seen a lot of people complain about the like 60-40 split of IP versus originals, or 50-50, or opposite. They want 60% originals, 40% IP. My first year, I'm pretty sure, was like almost all intellectual property. If after looking up the 90s stuff there's so much. I just want a 90s year. Yeah. I don't want any of this. So I'm intrigued. You've got me. At no point did I connect that we might be getting like a 90s theme, and now I want it.
Well, Could you imagine if there was
the TV miniseries?
Could you imagine?
Came out.
Could you imagine?
The Haunting.
Okay. So, Brian, let me blow your mind.
Scream. Hold on. Faculty, which I just recently rewatched. there's so much. Oh my
What if
goodness,
they did
what a good year.
Okay, I won't take credit for this.
Leprechaun! The Leprechaun! Anyway.
I won't take credit for this because I saw people talking about this on Twitter, so don't get mad at me, people, if whatever you came up. What if they did Vamp, but for Van's Warped Tour?
Oh my God.
Yep.
Would they do it back to back? We don't usually get Vamp years back to back, but now I want that. But they did the stage last year. It'd be perfect.
All right. If there's one band you can see represented.
The Grateful Dead. No. That's all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
All the 90s boy bands, all the hip hop bands. And then 90s punk was, they're not going to do it. I'm not going to go down this road.
You're like, oh, no.
I'm not going to.
You're not going to do the
this
Jaws.
This is like you being excited for Jaws, because there has been a weird renaissance of sorts in pop punk. People started making fun of it, and now it's a TikTok trend, and whatever. But man, if we got like, I mean, I'd say it's weird to say because a lot of people know Green Day from like 2000.
Oh yeah,
but the 90s Green Day. They'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because but we're already getting the Offspring. We're already getting maybe
we've
a
got the
music
Weeknd
Scare
coming.
Zone.
So
yeah, the Weeknd Scare Zone, which I'm all for, by the way. That's also
bring it.
Rumored. Yeah. Blink-182's on their big tour right now. They were big in the 90s. So you now just Jawsed me.
Yeah,
you Jawsed me, Ryan. You Jaws. I just got Jawsed. And if you're Brighton and you're listening to this, I just got Jawned, if you will. But yeah.
But okay, one more thing that I know we wanted to talk about. So this applies. I don't think you've never done an unmasking. Would you do it?
I've never done an unmasking because I always thought it was overpriced. I would do it. I think it's interesting.
The 3 House tour is not that bad this year. It actually went down a little bit. I think it's $100.
Yeah, I'd rather buy a second night ticket for $80.
What about the 6 House tour for $180 or $190?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. All our friends would love it. Billy and Spence and all these people that go on this trip with me would absolutely love it.
You need to do it once. I would argue that you need to do it once to experience it because it is, before you do it, it's very like price intensive.
Can I flex real quick?
Sure.
So we got the unmasking tour with the creators of the house when we worked there. They would come they would walk you through it, right? And tell you all the details. So I just feel like I don't want to pay for that, even though I would have loved to see the detail. And that is an arrogant thing to say. I understand that. It was over 10 years ago. But I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time giving up my day for that. I don't know. I have a lot of excuses.
But you get to go and be immersed in a house. You're still spending time there.
Yeah, but then do you get to go in the park?
What if I tell you they keep one scare actor in one of the houses and you don't know when that scare is coming?
That would be awesome.
It's not true.
I also think here's another thing, and this goes into a weirder conversation. And I love BTS stuff, and I love BTS. We got into video, film, marketing, amusement parks. I always joked that there was a person that we worked with who would ruin quote unquote amusement parks for me because I had this like amazing perspective, and then we'd go work and I'd learn all the behind the scenes stuff. I'd go through the back doors, and that park no longer held the mystique in my mind, right? Mm-hmm. And I worked at Disney, I worked at Universal, I worked at all these places, and while I've worked on local haunted houses, I've helped build houses, I've made commercials for haunted events, Halloween Horror Nights is like the last mystery.
Yeah.
Don't you give me that.
Yet.
You've done it too. No, stop
Yet.
it. And even then, it's not true because I worked in it and I still learned all of it. And so I'm 10 years removed.
We'll get that client
from Horror
eventually.
Nights. 10 years removed. Horror Nights is still a mystery. And while I love the lore, I don't want to see it lights on. I want it lights off. Because here's the thing. If I go one night, Ryan, won't I see half the houses with the lights on before I see them with the lights off?
Go the day after.
That's not a thing. I can't plan that.
Why?
We're gone the day after.
Stay later. But speaking of seeing the houses before you experience them, this first year, they started the unmasking tour for the 3 house several weeks early. Before the event even starts.
Before the event even started. Before the houses are even finished.
Well, they're probably going to finish the ones that you're touring.
You would like to think that, but they won't. People won't know.
We'll see.
All right.
I mean, my money would be that they're 3 originals and that they'll probably have those done first.
That's a good point. That's actually a really, really great call. And I just want to come back to this point because I'm in the zone right now, and I feel like I can hear some people that I know saying, "Oh, but you watch stuff beforehand." I don't anymore. Last year I watched 12 seconds of one clip, which is the best I've ever done. That's
accurate. You used to pick one house that you wouldn't watch the walkthrough
right.
of.
Yeah, if you've been following along, there was not that long ago only one house that I wouldn't spoil for myself. And now I don't spoil any of them. So times have changed. I've grown up. I'm matured, Ryan. I'm an adult.
I will say I did consider it. It makes it way earlier in the season, which especially I won't go into details, but my wife is not able to. And Brian, get this.
Yeah.
We were hanging out the other day and she was like, you know what? I'm just a little bit disappointed that I can't go to Horror Nights this year. That's the 180 that happened.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I guess not full circle 180.
She's
whatever.
kind of already planning the year
remorse.
after.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go back. And I'm like, amazing.
Well, let's do that next year and I can join maybe.
But I was like, well, this is several weeks earlier, so maybe.
Yeah.
And we ultimately decided no, but.
Okay. But it gave you the option. It started the conversation.
And I was like, I could kind of view it as like a sneak preview. Yes, I would love to see these after I did them, but to be able to go and see the houses and kind of get an idea, because I will say, I was reminded of, remember the good old social media days for Horror Nights when Ayala wasn't in charge of them?
Right.
And they used to do mini walkthroughs of 2 or 3 houses, and it'd be like, hey, this is this scene.
That's very
Specifically,
true.
I remember the one where they did of Blood Gulch.
Yeah. Yes.
And they actually showed the town ahead of time, and I'm like, oh, all in. This is amazing.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, I miss that. And
that's true. And
doing the house tour could be a little bit of a way to do that again.
I do look at the promotional pictures and everything that they're willing to share. So, because
you still don't know where the scares are coming from.
You don't know where the scares are coming, and you only get to see it once. And the photos and videos will show you stuff to look for. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting topic that we might get into again and get some other opinions on it when we get some people on, because I think there's arguments for both sides. Yeah, I really do. I think it's valid. I do think that the early tours are 100% geared towards locals and fans, because who's going to book that trip and then immediately go back? But I mean, we're getting a house announcement this week, because the last thing I'll say, and I will steal. I don't know the rules here. I'm new. I was on I'll say that. I'll say generically. You guys know who you are. I was on a forum that I have an account on, who I love, and someone shared a photo. What?
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans. I don't know why that got me so good.
You got to pay for that RIP tour somehow, Brian.
God. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. But they shared a photo that I shared with you, and I'm going to just read the excerpt if I can learn how to bring chat back up. Chat GPT here. And I said, Chat GPT, what haunted houses are we getting at Halloween Horror Nights? And it said, have you ever not gone? And I was like, no.
Wait, have you legitimately asked it?
I haven't. We should do that as an experiment. But anyway, someone shared this screenshot of somebody who signed up for the Universal Parks and Resort Vacations, and the last paragraph essentially says, hey, we have our weekly update coming, and it's going to have a Halloween update on it. Ryan, are you chat GPT?
Maybe.
Right do you think that means we're getting a house, or do you think they're just trying to offer packaged ticket deals for the hotels?
So I think honestly it's just going to be about the hotels and the ticket deals and whatever. I don't think they're going to do that in an email.
Right. But what if we get a house this week?
I mean, I would love for there to be a house announcement this week.
Then that is technically correct.
It would be, but I don't put any stock in that anymore.
Okay, that's fair. What is Chat GPT? Are you saying, are we getting a Jaws house this year at Halloween Horror Nights? Is that what you're typing in?
Let's see. If you were to guess which houses are coming this year.
What's happening right now, guys? If you're still with us, thank you, because we're about to spoil the whole event for you. Spoiler alert, AI is about to ruin everything.
Dang, this is a good year.
All right, what is it? What do we got?
Wait.
Hey, is it okay to eat the tea bag that's in the tea? Can I swallow that? He's too deep into
the
chat.
tea bags?
Yeah, can I?
We got 10 original. Oh, man.
10 original houses.
No, okay. So, do you want to know? Okay.
I do.
Well, to be clear, it says it can't give any specifics. It knows, but doesn't know. So, but this year's a banger.
Oh my God.
So we have a classic Universal Monsters house featuring
Okay.
iconic monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein, and Wolfman. Already did it. Stranger Things, not coming this year.
Oh, let's
Not
go.
coming this year. Unless it's like a 1 through 4.
More like you aren't. Okay, yeah.
Conjuring
1 through 4.
universe.
Oh, I'm interested.
Nightmare on Elm Street, so prove it. So we have it coming this year. Texas.
It's a 90s. My dream.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, dude.
Insidious.
This is a year.
Walking Dead coming back.
Vomit, but okay.
Which, by the way, do you think they'll ever bring it back with the
No.
new? No, okay. Halloween and a new
Another
original
90s
IP.
film. I mean, that is not the worst prediction
It did
ever.
say, of course, these are just speculative guesses and it could be different. But I actually was like, hey, come up with some ideas for originals. Do you want to hear the originals?
I do, obviously.
All right.
This needs to be a series at this point.
Or do we want to hold it off for the next episode?
No, I would just
Oh,
hit,
you
us,
wanna hear-
hit us with one. Hit us with one because
Okay.
we're coming up on 50 minutes here.
Let me read through real quick to pick the good one.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to tell you a story that you can half listen
Okay,
to. But for
first
all
one.
the-
First
oh
one.
my God.
It's called
Okay.
Phantom Manor. Guests
hell?
enter a decrepit mansion haunted by the vengeful spirit of a betrayed opera singer. The house is filled with eerie music, ghostly apparitions, and deadly traps set by the Phantom.
I think I've seen this, Ryan.
Yep.
Oh
What
my-
about the Realm of Shadows?
That
Venture
sounds
into a
intriguing.
realm where darkness reigns supreme. Encounter
Okay.
terrifying creatures born from nightmares. Navigate treacherous terrains shrouded in eternal twilight, and confront the ancient evil that seeks to consume all who enter.
That is the most generic
yeah,
thing
that's not
I've
good.
ever read, but that would make a great house.
Yeah,
That
some of
would
these
have
are
been
very
that
generic.
would have been that would have been a Halloween Horror Nights description a few years ago. Remember when
Yep.
we got like there's vampires in a tomb.
Yep. I like how they have like names. The Lost City of Eldritch. I'm like, oh, what?
See, I mean the names are banger.
Yep.
I did want to say I did get my first jump scare this year, not from a movie or game.
Okay. What was it?
It was at a carnival,
All right.
and they
was it
had
in? Was it in the Carnival of Nightmares? Step right up to a twisted carnival where every attraction is a nightmare come to life. Encounter malevolent clowns, haunted rides, and sinister sideshow performers as you navigate the maze of terror.
I think they've done that one already, but it sounds great. I would do it again. No, it's one of those old school cart rides with the track, the like buzzer track stuff.
Where?
And,
I need to know where.
It was outside of WrestleMania in Philly. The carnival was the weirdest thing I've ever been to, Ryan. There was no street parking. It was on an island of grass in the middle of a very major highway. And
I love it already.
yeah, it was so you had to pay to get into the carnival, then pay for the tickets. And I rode the Zipper for the first time in 10 or 11 years, and that was terrifying and amazing. But they had I'll send you a video of this old school, and they baited us so well. The first jump scare was your typical light up, okay, whatever. Then you go into a black corner, you whip around in your cart. Second thing, same thing, black light, whatever. Like, this is stupid. Then the third one just came out of nowhere so aggressive. It was a legit, like, scary experience, and I loved it. And
I don't know if there's anything more fond in my heart than just old school cart haunted houses.
100%.
And I've only gotten to do like 2 in my life, and it saddens me that they're not more common.
They're not, and a lot of them died out. Some got restored.
Are we making one now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if they should make a Halloween Horror Nights one that's like themed old school, like cheesy.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
a
the thing.
cheesy version of Jack. Like they should put one in.
cheesier the better, but you do want one legitimate scare.
One legitimate good scare, yeah. Speaking of which, Vegas Horror Nights has gone vertical.
Yeah.
I think it's been vertical, but, you know, it's got a lot of progress recently.
Yeah, I will definitely have to go out and check it out. When we get our media invite, we'll...
That's right.
Yeah.
Once we get these videos up.
I know, I would go take photos
Also,
if I was going to NAB next week, so...
Oh, I want to go to NAB.
I know, it's great.
I haven't been in so long. All right, well, Ryan, do you have any parting thoughts for us before we have to record again immediately because they're going to announce a house this week?
I hope so. You know what? That is a good thing for me if we have to instantly record.
Okay.
I want it to happen. I want to be wrong here. I want there to be something for us to talk about. I would love a point. That would be my guess, but
this is the first year I feel like I have a chance, so I am actually pretty intense about this. And
yeah, you actually pay attention this year?
I'm going to pay attention. Yeah, I'm going to go back and
in previous years, I'm like texting you. I'm like, I just got 2 points. And you're like, oh, what?
I don't care. I don't know how. But no, this year I'm playing for keeps.
Yeah.
All right.
You get the trophy.
And a trophy and a prize. And until tomorrow. Just kidding. But maybe. That's all I got.
Just watch out for the Witching Hour Manor. Enter a sprawling mansion trapped in a perpetual state of midnight. Navigate shifting corridors, encounter spectral residents, and evade the sinister forces that seek to trap visitors within the mansion forever.
I don't understand how it can write so many variations of generic concepts. It's so good.
Yeah.
I would go to that house. I think I've been through that house. I don't know.
We need to incorporate this into an episode, Brian.
100%.
Who can create the best Chat GPT Halloween Horror Nights event?
So I was thinking, I don't know if you know CAD, but I wanted to do like a competition where like we get an hour to make our own HHN house. Has to be like a 3 to 5 minute walkthrough or whatever. But now I think we incorporate that with a prompt from Chat GPT. And even if we don't CAD it out and draw it out, we can talk through it. You tell me what the first room has. You draw scenes out.
No, I've
scares.
Definitely wanted to do an episode where you and I both create our own house.
Okay.
You'll definitely win.
I think, well, I don't know. I think if we do the Chat GPT rules where we'll have special guests pick a random prompt.
We need okay, he can pick the prompt. We need 3 judges.
Okay. All right. This is going to be, I like this. This is a good episode. We're going to get on this while we wait 6 months for the next announcement. I
like how you said tomorrow and then now 6 months. Okay.
I like to, play the best and worst case scenario.
All right. Well, 6 months. What the event's going on in 6 months?
I didn't do the math. You know how they did the math? I didn't do the math.
Brian, the event's going on in a little over 4 months.
That is crazy that we don't have an announcement now.
So, 4.5 months. And we will be there. Well, we won't be there.
Well, we won't be there, but we'll be there.
I don't know.
I don't have a ticket. I don't have a ticket.
I might go opening weekend. If I get Rush of Fear with Express.
Your opening weekend, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Because honestly, this year, the earlier the better. If we're being real. So, all right.
That's true.
Awesome, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy these video episodes. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you either tomorrow or in 6 months.